So till this point, we are here. We were able to build our Spring AI application. Of course, we wanted to get some Gen AI features where I can write a Java code and talk to the LLM models. And this was the question or the prompt. Tell me a joke on AI, and it was able to give me the answer. And before we do anything else, the first thing you will do is to check if things are working or not, because I'm recording this video in some other day. So there's warning here, but we normally ignore the warnings. We are only focusing on the errors. But there are no error. I mean, there's an error in the joke, but it says, I asked AI to tell me a joke, human not found. I think this was the same joke which we did last time. Doesn't matter. So what we are going to do this time is, of course, you got the output on the console, but come on, we are living in a world where you want to talk to a browser. Basically, you'll be having a page where you will input some details, and that's where you expect the output. Now, there are two ways here. One, you can actually build a UI where you can have a text field where you can enter the details. I'm not sure if I'm too old to call it a text field, but you got the point, right? So where you'll input the details and then it should give you the answer on the same page. We can build a React application. In fact, we don't have to build a React application. I can ask AI to build me one, and I have one basic React application here. You don't have to use this. You can also use some API clients, like you can use Insomnia, you can use Postman, or whichever is your favorite. Let me know in the comments which is your favorite REST client. I was using Postman for a long time, and then I moved to Insomnia, and the UI looks better here. I don't use all the feature anyway to compare this to REST clients. But anyway, if you suggest something, I will just try to use that later. But at this point, what we're going to do is, first let me try to run this. You will get the source code in the description for this UI. So just pull it from the GitHub repository in any IDE, maybe VS Code, and do npm install in the same path. I've already done that. Just wanted to show you the steps. And I can say npm run dev. This is where it will open. I'll click this. So this is a UI, Telusko GPT, a clone of ChatGPT. There's just fancy buttons here. Nothing actually working, but this is the working field here. So I can ask a question. I will say, tell me a joke on, let's say Java. Okay, so when I say enter, you can see this is the error which we got. It says, this is a timestamp, and then status is 404, not the joke. Okay, this is actual error. It says not found, and this is a path. So basically it is trying to hit this API or this endpoint, which is localhost:8080/API/ this particular message. And I don't have the endpoints. Of course, right? The application which we have built, there's no controller here. There's no endpoint. So let's build one. So I can just go here. Of course, we can create packages, but let's keep it simple. So I can say this is my AI controller. This will be a REST controller. So I will just say REST controller here. And I also need to have a method which will return a string. I can say get response, and this will accept a prompt. Now this prompt is coming in the path, right? The path variable. So I can say this is path variable, and this is coming in the prompt. Is it? Yeah, I can say message or prompt doesn't matter. It's just that in the get mapping here, I have to say /prompt. But if you look at the API, where's the browser? If you look at the API, this is the endpoint, right? So it's /API/ the prompt. So in this, I will also add a API here. So /API/ prompt, and whatever prompt you're getting here will go here. And based on that, I will just return a prompt just to check if the endpoint is working. Nothing much. Okay, and then I will just restart this to check if things are working or not. So whatever prompt I'm entering, it should respond with the same message. And since I'm lazy, I'm going to copy this and paste it here, enter. Okay, so whatever you're sending, you're getting it back. But this time I don't want the same message. I actually want an answer. And this answer should be coming from the LLM model. Okay, let's get back here. This is one way to check from the React application. If you want to use the REST client, you can also do that here. So I will say localhost:8080/API/ the message. So tell me a joke on Java. Let's say click on send, and you got the same message back. So things are working out in the REST client as well, but that's not what we are here for. We are here to talk to the LLM model. Now I can type the code, or I can just take help from here. So basically what we have done before is I want a chat model. So we have different options. We have talked about those options. We got ChatClient as well, which is a better option. But then we are using ChatModel here. One reason why you might use ChatModel is, let's say in your application, you're talking to multiple chat models at the same time. You're talking to Anthropic, you're talking to OpenAI, you're talking to, let's say, what else we have? Gemini, Mistral. In that case, you can use ChatModel to specify which model you're talking to. If you are using ChatClient, you don't have to basically mention the model, then it will get confused. Hey, you got multiple model option. Tell me which one you're working with. And then you have to add some extra configuration. But I think the application which we have built in our company, we have used only one model and we are happy with ChatClient. But again, use case, right? So different people, different use case. And we'll switch to that part. But at this point, I'm still sticking to ChatModel. So here I need the object of Anthropic chat model, and this is what I'm going to auto-wire. Again, field injection is not good. You should be using constructor injection. I think that's what it says. It says field injection is not recommended, but that's fine. Or maybe let's use, I know in the comment section, people will come back and say, what you're doing, Naveen, it's not the recommended way. Okay, let's go with recommended way. Happy? Okay, so once you got this, I can use this to talk to the AI model. So this is where I'm going to accept a response, and the Anthropic chat model. Okay, this is not the name I want. I want it to be chat model, and here as well, chat model. Okay, too much work. This is where you should use AI to change the stuff. Okay, so it says field chat model may be final. Yeah, you can make it final. That's fine. So I'm saying chatmodel.call, and this is what we have done before. So chatmodel.call, and then here I'm going to return the response, not the prompt, response. Let's see, nothing fancy, right? It's just that we have created a controller and an endpoint. Things should work out. Nothing is going to print. I mean, it will print because we are still doing this, and I'm wasting my credits. So I can just, okay, I will just comment this part. I don't want to do that again and again. I've already vested my tokens, but that's fine. Again, I will talk about how we are vesting it, what is token, and how it is charging. But at this point, let me go back to my browser. Or maybe first let's try with the chat client, or not chat client, REST client. Okay, I will click on send here, and it's taking some time. Of course, AI calling will take time, depending upon the model which you're using. So I think the Claude Sonnet, which we are using, which is 4.6, takes time to answer, but it's taking a lot of time. When I'm recording this video, I saw somewhere that some of the models were down. Is it the reason it's taking so much time? But it has not taken that much of time when we were doing, come on. Okay, there was an error. There was an error. Let's see what the error is. Okay, failed to hit API. What is the error? Something new for me as well. It says, endpoint. Why it should have an issue with the endpoint? I'm not doing anything extra. Here also we have done the same thing. So using Anthropic chat model, which we are using here, it is doing the constructor injection. We don't have to mention auto-wired there. And then I'm calling chatmodel.call, passing a prompt. That's what we have done here. It's weird. It's weird. Let me try this once again. Have I restarted the application? Yeah. Okay, started. Let me hit again. I don't think there's an issue with the code. Okay, I don't know what went wrong there. For a second, I thought, are my credits over? Anyway, so here's a classic Java joke. Why do Java programmers wear glasses? Because they can't see sharp. Good one, but old joke. But I would say they can see sharp because it's same, right? How many Java programmers does it take to change a light bulb? Just create a Java. Is it a joke on singleton pattern? Okay. Okay, this is good. This is new. Okay. Anyway, so now I want to test this from here. I will not be going for Java joke this time. Let me have a joke on C#. I hope it will not load it from the musical part. Okay, so here's a C# joke for you. Why did C# developer go broke? Because he kept throwing exceptions instead of catching them. Here is another one. Okay, but I think it's same for Java as well. And that's why I said, Java and C# is not they're not different. This thing changes, console.writeLine. Anyway, so this is working, right? So this is how you basically talk to the endpoints. Okay, so this is how we have done with the chat model. But I think it's a good time to look at ChatClient as well. I know you're waiting for it, so let me just go back to my code and let's use the ChatClient. How do I hide this warning? I've never got this warning before. It's maybe the new version, or there's something wrong with the netty. Maybe in my M2 repository, I have some extra libraries, which is why we got this. But anyway, ignore that. So let's use ChatClient. So here, instead of using chat model, I want to use ChatClient. How do I do it? So the first thing is I want to comment this. I'm not going to use chat model anymore. So I want a ChatClient. So I will say ChatClient, and you can see this coming from Spring Framework. So I got a ChatClient, and now I want to create the object for it, right? So how do I do it? One thing you can do is there's one way you can ignore this. You can completely remove Anthropic chat model reference there. But I want to show you both the steps. So initially I will go with this. I will say ChatClient, and ChatModel gives you, and using ChatModel, you can say ChatClient.create, and you can pass ChatModel. Okay, so whatever ChatModel you got here, you can pass it here. And based on that, it will create a ChatClient for you, which you can assign here. But things will change here. It was very simple, right? With the chat model, you can say call. Let's try with ChatClient. Do you have the option of call? And you can see there is no method as call. So how do we do it? Okay, let's see. Now, you might see multiple methods coming in between, but trust me, it is important. Okay, so later on when you want to customize something, directly using a call method, not a good option. You're not talking to a ChatGPT directly. You're talking to an application which is using AI models. Okay, so what are the steps? So basically there's only one method which you can use here, which is prompt. Okay, and in this prompt, you can pass your prompt. And that's why I was not using prompt here. It should be message, because this is what you're getting from the user. Of course, I can say prompt, but then you will get confused between prompt, method, and then prompt as a message, or prompt as a parameter. So let's stick to message. And then you can say call. Okay. But even call is not going to return you the string. So call returns you a object of call response spec. Okay, now from that call response spec, you can fetch the content. So lengthy steps, but then ultimately you will get a string. And since we have multiple methods here, I will just use this to look good. And I can hide this. Okay, so even prompt returns the object of ChatClient request spec, and call returns call response spec. So basically they're returning something to you, some objects, but not string. But content returns you the string. Okay, and then you can print a response. I think you will get the same response. It's just that instead of using the chat model, we're using ChatClient. Let's see. So I will just restart this and go back to Insomnia. Maybe I will stick to my UI now. You can write in Insomnia. And I will say, what? Okay. Who is Telusko? Time to promote the channel. Who is Telusko? Hopefully it will answer. Sometimes it's good to see your own name. Okay. So Telusko is a online identity of Navin Reddy. Okay. He runs a YouTube channel. That's good. Almost right information. I also have courses on Udemy. Channel stats approximately. Okay. It's not printing the stats. Millions of subscribers. Okay. That's right. Okay, Telusko is believed to be combination related to his background, Telugu plus something creative. Okay. By the way, Telusko means get to know in Telugu. Okay, would you like to know? But I think I'm good. I'm good. So this is how you can use the ChatClient. But then I know in your mind you're still stuck here. Why we are still saying Anthropic chat model? Where is that abstraction? Let me give you the abstraction. So what you can do is, instead of mentioning the chat model here, you can use ChatClient and ChatClient. But then even this will not work. First of all, you can't say ChatClient.create and then say chat model, because we don't have chat model anymore. So this will change. Even ChatClient here is giving you an error. It says could not auto wire because there's no bean of type ChatClient. This is not how you do it. So in this case, what you do is you use something called a builder pattern. So ChatClient gives you a builder, and then you can say a builder here. And now using that builder, you can say build. So this will give you the object of ChatClient. Okay. So what Spring will give you is the object of builder. Okay, and with the help of builder, you can say build. Now you'll be thinking why they went in this approach. They could have simply created the object of ChatClient in the Spring container and then inject it here. The thing is, maybe you want to customize it. Maybe you want to add some customization in the builder before you create the ChatClient. And that's why you got this option. And I know you might be thinking, what customization? I will show you one maybe in this video, and then it will make sense. And now completely nowhere, apart from this commented code, we got ChatModel. Let's see. Let's restart this and go back to my browser. What is Java in one line? I'm trying to save my tokens. And we got the answer. So this is how you can use it. This is how you can use ChatClient. And now it's time to go a bit deeper. See, when you said content, of course you got the content, right? But then if you are asking for the content specifically here, that means this call is not just returning content, it is returning something else as well. And I want to know what that else is. So what I will do is, instead of saying content, I will stick to call, and then I will say enter. So of course you got the option of content, which will give you the content, right? Or maybe I will just do this. So I will say call, and it returns some other type. So this returns ChatClient.call response spec. Okay, I'm okay with that. But with this response, what are things you can do? So you can do two things. Of course, you can do multiple things, but I'm interested in two things. One is the content, which will give you the response, the final response, and I will say this is the answer, and this will be response dot content. So of course we got the answer, which I'm going to return here. But apart from answer, let's see what else you get. So response dot, you got chat response. Now what this chat response return? So chat response, in fact, I will download the sources to get the description for it. Okay, there's no description. They forgot what is description, maybe. Okay, so chat response returns you chat response. Okay, but if I say chat response dot, it gives you get result. Okay, we'll try to use get result later. Then it gives you metadata. Now this is important. Now in the metadata, what else you can get? Now first of all, what is metadata? See, when you talk to the model, or in fact, in general, in real life, if you want some answer, of course, you will get the answer which you are returning here. But apart from the answer, you will get some extra information. And that extra information, which is the data about the data, is metadata. And that you're also getting from the model. And you can fetch it here. So let's say I want to know the usage for this particular query. How many tokens have been used? I think that's what it is returning. I'm just going to say metadata. I hope it returns string. No, it returns you the usage. Okay, so from the usage, I can say get total tokens. In fact, I can get the total tokens. I can get the prompt tokens, how much token the prompt has taken. And I will say get total token. In fact, this is not returning, it is returning integer. Okay, I will just say this is integer. And then I'm going to print it. Total tokens used, and I'll print this. Okay, let's restart and let's see how much tokens have been consumed. And then I will explain what is this token concept. Okay, so let me just go back to my browser and I will hit this same thing again. Let's see the answer. Okay, we got an error, 500 error. Illegal state exception, no call advisor to execute. Why is not behaving the way I want? Is it because I'm using the M2 version? Okay, it is printing total token. So you can see total token is 57, but it is giving you error here. Let me try once again. I will say hi. I think there's issue with the calls. It says path, internal error. Okay, let me just check what is the issue with the Copilot. Oh, I forgot to specify the model. I normally prefer to use Sonnet 4.5 or Opus 4.5. I'm not sure which model it is using. Taking a lot of time. Okay, let's see what it says. The error is caused by reading the same call twice. Oh, okay. That rerun the advisor chain. Okay, so we can call that only once. So we should be fetching that once. token and then chat response dot get result. So chat response. So I should have done this. So call dot chat response and then create the reference for it. No casting. Okay, and then from the chat response, I could have done this. Now instead of saying content, because we can't use content, so I can say get. So this is another way of fetching data. So I can say get result dot get output. Okay, so it is get output dot get text. So content was just one of the options, but normally we will be using this. So get output dot get text. And get output says it can give you null point exception, but I'm fine with it. I know it will respond. Let's restart and see what happens. So let's go back to the browser and say hi. Let's see the total count. It should print total token used 32, and we also got the response. Perfect. Learn something new today. Perfect. Okay, now I want to do one more thing here. So let's say printing the tokens is okay. I want to print the model as well. So I will say response dot get metadata dot get model, and let's see if it is printing the model as well. So I will say hi. Okay, so we got the answer, and here it says Sonnet 4.6. Perfect. So we can get multiple things from the response, the chat response, right? Now let's talk about the tokens. Why we are printing the tokens here. See, what happens is every time you talk to the LLM model, of course, this is hosted on their server. So they are going to charge you for it. Now, how exactly they're going to charge for it? Is it based on the system configuration? Normally, when you host your application on cloud, maybe on AWS, they will charge you based on the runtime, based on the config which you have, based on the scaling feature you have, and a lot of parameters are there. In the model as a service, when you have your AI models running on their servers, how will they charge? Now they charge based on the token consumptions. Okay, so the more tokens you use, the more they will be charging you. Now, how this token looks like. So I will just go to Spring AI docs. And if you remember, somewhere it talked about the tokens. So we got the AI concept and yeah. So this is where the token concept is. Now, basically what happens is every time you type something, the processing on those things happens with the help of tokens. That's how your LLM model works. But that's how basically GPT works, right? Now it will break down your words into tokens. Now, in the ideal world, one token should be, or one word should be one token, but that's not how it works. So on average, one token is 75% of a word. Okay, so if you look at 900,000 words, it is equal to 1.2 million tokens. Okay, so the more message the bigger prompt you have and the bigger response you get from the AI, it will be totaled. It will be added to count the total token consumptions. And based on the token consumptions, they will charge you. So of course, different models have different costing for the tokens. The lighter models charge you less. The bigger models will charge you more. And you can see it says tokens is equal to money. So try to use less tokens. And again, we'll talk about the details a bit later about the concepts. But at this point, I just wanted to tell you about the tokens. Now I want to do one more thing, which is, let's go back here and say, who is Naveen Reddy? Hopefully it will know what I'm talking about. So it says, I don't have specific information, person name. Oh, that hurts. That hurts. Okay. I will say, who is Telusko? So Telusko is more famous than me. Perfect. Perfect. And now I will say, where is its office located? Now, so basically what I'm doing is I'm asking two questions. One is, who is Telusko? And then the second is, where is the office located? Now, if I ask to a normal person these two questions, the normal person can connect. The first question was, because if you read this question, where it is office located, it means what? Whom I'm referring to or what I'm referring to. And that's the confusion I think AI will also have. And yeah, it is confused. It is, I notice your question is quite general. Which office? It's not sure. It's not sure what I'm talking about. So that means LLM by default, whenever you call, they don't have your memory. So every new prompt is a new thing for them. So you have to make sure that you maintain this memory. How will we do it? Is it that easy? So there's something called advisors in Spring AI. So somewhere here, where will I find advisors? Prompts, models. Okay, I forgot where the documentation is. But there's something called advisors, and we can have that advisor here. So the way you can do that is, of course, you can build your own advisors. So advisors are useful for multiple reasons, and we'll talk about that later. But there's one advisor which will help you here, which is the memory advisor. Now, if you go back here, remember we talked about this builder.build, and we can add something here before you build it. And that one thing you can add here now is the memory advisor. So you can say builder, and before you say build, here you can add default advisors. Of course, you can create your own advisors, but we are using some inbuilt advisors. So default advisors, and this is message chat memory advisor dot builder dot build. But builder will take an object, and that object is of chat memory. So I will say private chat memory, and we have to create the object for this because it's not there in the Spring container. So that can be done with the help of message window chat memory dot builder dot build. And let's pass it here. So basically what we are doing is we are telling our model or the chat client here that don't build a default chat client, add an advisor, and the advisor we are using this time is the message chat memory advisor. Now this will say chat memory, and we are going for the inbuilt memory. Maybe in future we can change it to JDBC, where you can store your thing in a file or maybe in the database, and things will change here, but this will remain same, hopefully. So let's see if it can recall or it will remember the message before. So let's go back here, and now again the same question, or maybe so we'll say what is Java and JVM in one line. Okay, we got the response. I will say how they are different, because at this point also I'm saying they are different, who they are. If it can recall that I have asked question on Java JVM, it should answer. Okay, so now the memory advisor is there. Perfect. So things are working out and we are happy. So that's it from this video where we have done multiple things. So see you in the next part. Do practice it and let me know your thoughts in the comments. Bye-bye.